So this all starts, there was a night, I moved into an apartment building, and I was having a party one night. A big fucking Szechuan sauce with all the boys and girls, right? And as we're having this party, everyone's getting crunk, having a great time. We're out on the balcony of my apartment, and we hear, like, this chick be like, "Hey, guys, hi. I'm your upstairs neighbor. I moved in today. What are you guys doing?" And we're like, "Oh, we're having a party. You should come down. Come say hey." And she was like, "Really? Can I bring my friend?" And we're like, "Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Come down. Fuck it. We're having a good time." She was like, "Okay, we'll be down soon." Bet. So she comes down while we're having this party, and she walks in the house, and it's her. She's like a 5'2" brunette, and she's with this guy who's like 6 foot tall, bald, and fucking jacked, like roided out of his mind, right? And he's like drinking his drink, whatever it was he was drinking, out of a protein shaker. It wasn't like it wasn't a protein shake. It was like a whiskey and Coke or something, right? He's just drinking out of a protein shaker. Anyway, she's like, we're just having a chat. She seems like a pretty normal gal. He seems a little weird, like a little strange for sure, but she seems like a normal chick. We're having a good chat. You know, everyone's having fun. Nice to meet her. And then she was like, "Oh, do you guys want to come up to my apartment and do some nangs?" And a couple of my friends were like, "Hell yeah." For the Americans in the chat, nangs are whippets. And I think English people call them balloons. I don't know what people call them in... it's nitrous, basically. So, a couple of my friends go up to her apartment, and they do some nangs up there. And then they come back down. She ends up staying up in her apartment. She doesn't come back. But then, yeah, my friends go up there, and they come back. And all's good. She seems like a nice girl. Nice to meet the neighbor. And Bob's your uncle. We all go out that night, have a good night. No worries. Now, a couple weeks later, it's a Sunday night. I've asked all of the boys if they want to come out, because the Sunday night's a pretty big night in the city that I'm from, and none of the boys are keen. So I'm, you know, naturally not happy, and I'm on the phone on a Sunday night at 10 p.m. to the girl that I was seeing at the time, right? And my like intercom for my apartment rings, and I'm like, what the hell? 10 p.m. on a Sunday night, the intercom for my apartment's ringing. That can only mean one thing: the boys have changed their mind and they want to go out. Let's go. So I go to the intercom, and luckily enough, it's like a video intercom. I can see the person on the other side, and it's the upstairs neighbor. And it's freezing outside, by the way. It's like fucking damn near snowing. And she looks like she's been out clubbing, like at a party or something. And so I'm like, "Yo, what's up?" And she was like, "Oh my God, I forgot my key. Can you buzz me in?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, of course, no worries." And so I buzz her into the apartment complex. And then I say to, I'm like back on the phone with the girl that I'm seeing. And, you know, we're just having a chat or whatever. And then like a minute later, there's a knock on my door. And I was like, what the fuck? So I go answer the door, and I open the door, and it's the upstairs neighbor. And she just like barges past me, like into my apartment. And she was like, "Hey, I need some fucking Coke." And I was like, where the fuck do you think you are? Like, get out of my house. No, I don't give a fuck what you need. Get out of here. She like goes to grab like this bottle of Maduri that I had on the bench from like a party that I previously had. And I was like, what the fuck? Put that down. Like, no. What are you doing? And she was like, I gotta go to the toilet, and hands me her phone. And it's on the phone. She's on the phone to someone. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is so strange. So I say to the girl that I'm seeing, I'm like, hey, babe, I'm going to call you back. Let me call you back, all right? Like, shit's going down. She's like, all right, no worries. Call me back. I was like, cool. And so I've got this girl's phone, and she goes into my toilet. And I hear the guy on the phone going, hello? Hello? And I was like, yo, what's up, man? And he's like, give the phone back to, and I won't say her name, but he's like, give the phone back to so-and-so. And I was like, I can't right now, bro. She's on the toilet. And he goes, I don't give a fuck. Who the fuck are you? And I was like, I'm her fucking neighbor. Who the fuck are you? He's like, I'm her fucking brother, so give her the fucking phone. And I was like, all right, bro. Like, I don't care enough for this shit. So I just threw her phone under the toilet door, right? And so she's in the toilet, and I can just hear the brother going, this is why we don't want you to fucking drink and do drugs, you fucking idiot. And she's like giving it back to him, like, fuck you, you fucking dog. You guys don't even fucking care about me. And I'm just sitting there like, it's Sunday night, bro. Like, what the fuck is going on in my life right now? Anyway, she hangs up the phone. She comes out of the toilet, and she was like, I need some Coke. And I was like, I don't know where you think you are. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where you think you are. I don't have Coke. You need to go home. And she was like, I need to get into my apartment. I was like, go, get in your apartment then. Get out of my fucking house. And she was like, I don't have my key. And I was like, I see the issue. I see the issue right now. What do you want me to do about it? She was like, I have to get into my apartment. My baby's up there. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, your baby is up there? She's like, yes, my cat Desmond, or whatever the fuck she called her cat. And I was like, oh my God, bro. I thought this fucking idiot had actually left her child up there. She's talking about her cat, right? I was like, for fuck's sake, man. Anyway, so I was like, all right, listen, let's just go up to your apartment. I was like, I'll walk you up to your apartment, and we'll see if you just left the door unlocked. And if you did, all good. If not, we'll figure out what to do. She was like, okay, let's go. So we walk out of my apartment. I was like, because I just want to get this chick out of here, you know? I'm talking about like conflict resolution. Get this chick out of my fucking house as quick as humanly possible. I'll walk you up to your apartment. We'll see if your fucking door's open, right? So we walk out of my apartment, and we're about to walk, you know, up the stairs to go to hers. And as we walk out of my apartment, she's so fucked, bro. She leans on me and just looks up at me and goes, if you get me into my house, I'll kiss you. And I was like, have a fucking look at yourself, you dirty bitch. Fuck no. If I get you into your apartment, I never want to see you again. Get out of my house. Like, what the fuck? Obviously, they didn't say this to her. I'm not trying to start no fucking fight. But like, ew. Anyway, we get up to her apartment. She tries the door. Obviously, it doesn't fucking work. Obviously, it doesn't fucking work, right? Great. And what does she start doing? Bro, she starts trying to kick her door down. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, you need to stop. I was like, you're causing a fucking scene. I was like, stop. I was like, you can just come back down to my fucking apartment. Come back down to my apartment, and you can just sleep on the couch. You can figure this out in the morning. So she comes back down to my apartment, and I was like, listen, I'm gonna try and get the building manager's number, and I'm gonna call the building manager, and we're gonna see if he can come down and let you into your apartment. And so she comes into my apartment. She sits on my couch, right? She sits on my couch, and I'm in the kitchen trying to find the number for the building manager. I'm scrolling, and then I just hear her go, I swear to God, she goes, fuck this. I'm just going to climb down. And my first thought was, what are you fucking talking about, you dumb bitch? You live up. Like, I lived on the 5th floor. She lived on the 6th. So what do you mean climb down? Second of all, what does she mean climb? I look up. This chick is halfway out the door to my balcony. I start legging it from my kitchen, bro. Just give it absolute fucking booleans. Scott Sheggingtons. By the time I get out there, she's halfway over the balcony, right? One leg dangling over the balcony. And I've had to grab her and fucking physically pick her up. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die telling this story, man. Jesus fucking Christ. My word, that was a little too close for comfort. All that for blood runes. Anyway, okay. So, she's got one leg over the balcony, bro, by the time I get out there. I've had to physically pick this chick up, grab her off the balcony, and literally just throw her inside my apartment and shut the door behind me, right? And so I'm sat there blocking the door. Oh, God, this chick's punching me in my head. Let me out there. I gotta go get my baby. She's just fucking bang, just wailing on me. And I'm going, get the fuck out, fuck off. So she takes off, right? She goes to the kitchen. She opens up my fridge, grabs a Corona. Yeah? Grabs the Corona and then grabs the first thing she can find to try and open it. What is it? A big fucking kitchen knife. So now this chick's in my apartment with a big ass kitchen knife and a fucking Corona. And so I'm like, hell no, bro. So I go over there. I was like, give me the fucking knife. Stop. I'll open the Corona for you. Just give me the knife. So I get the knife. She gives me the Corona. I was like, get the fuck out of my house right now. She goes back to the couch. I'm trying to call the cops, right? While I'm doing this. She's on the couch and I look over. She's taken her fucking pants off. And I'm like, put your fucking pants on. What the fuck are you doing what is happening right now? I've never experienced anything like this in my life. This chick is so cooked. I'm like, put your fucking pants on. And she's like, no. And it's just running around my apartment. I'm calling the police. Fuck this shit, bro. I'm on the phone to the cops. Hello? Yeah, my neighbor is broken into my fucking apartment building. My apartment. And she won't leave. She's fucking cooked on all sorts of substances. God knows what's going on. I need someone to come down here. She finds out I'm on the phone to the cops, immediately puts her fucking pants on, and leaves. Just legs it. And I was like, oh, looks like she's leaving. And they're like, I was like, should I follow her? And they're like, is it safe? And I was like, nah, probably not, dude. And they're like, well, don't follow her then. I was like, okay, I'm just going to stay here. They're like, we'll send someone down. Bet. So they said they're going to send someone down. She leaves. But guess what? She leaves her phone and her shoes in my apartment. I was like, oh my God. She's hella coming back for those. Like, so I shut the door. I lock it. I call back the girl that I'm seeing. I was like, you would not believe what the fuck just happened to me. You know, this is crazy, right? So the cops come down, and I see them come down. I see them have a look around. They can't see anything, and they leave. And so they call me. They go, hey, like, we come down. Can't see her around. Just be careful. If you see her again, just give us a call. We'll come down. Cool. No worries. Thanks, boys. Appreciate you. No worries. So I'm chilling. I'm back on the phone with the girl that I was seeing at the time. And this is probably like an hour later. The intercom rings again. Bro. The intercom rings again. And, of course, it's her. I was like, babe, what do I do? And she's like, don't let her in. I was like, I know, but it's literally fucking hailing outside. And this poor girl is obviously fucked up. What kind of a human being would I be if I just left her out in the fucking hail? You know what I mean? I'm just not that kind of guy. I don't want her to come in my house, but I can't leave her outside. And so the girl that I'm seeing goes, well, why don't you just let her in, but don't, like, lock your door. Make sure she doesn't come inside your house. I was like, that's a great play. And she was like, but put her phone and her shoes out the front of the door, because that's obviously what she's come back for. So that way she doesn't have to come in. And I was like, yeah, it's a great shout. So I put her phone and her shoes out the front of my my apartment door. I buzz her in so she can come inside the building, so she doesn't have to be out in the hail, and I lock my door so she can't come into my apartment. All good, chilling. And so all that's happened, and then of course I hear a knock on the door. Let me in, please. I need to use your toilet. Let me in. And I'm like, hell nah, bro. Hell nah. So I'm not letting her in, and she's knocking for like a good 5 minutes, dude. 5 minutes. And I'm like, fuck this. I'm calling the cops. So I call the cops again, and I'm like, hey, like, this crazy bitch is back. Like, can you guys send someone down? And they're like, yeah, cool. We'll send someone down. I was like, cool. Thanks, boys. So I'm just waiting. She stops knocking, thank God. But I'm just waiting for the cops to get here now. And the girl that I'm seeing, I'm back on the phone with her, and I see the cops turn up. I was like, thank God, here come the cops, right? Then my intercom rings. It's the police. And they go, hey, Jake, it's the, so-and-so from the police station. Can you buzz us in? I was like, yeah, of course, boys, got you. Let me buzz you in real quick. So I buzz them in, and as I'm buzzing them in, like, I can hear everything that's going on over the intercom, right? And I just hear this chick barge past the cops and just go, fuck you, you fucking pigs, fucking dog cunts. And she's out on the balcony. Like, I go out on the balcony to see what's going on the street. She's out on the street, bro, double fucking birding the cops. Fuck you, you pig dogs. I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is happening, bro? Like, it's crazy, right? And she gets in the back of this car and it takes off. Cool. The cops ring me back and they're like, she got in the back of what looked like an Uber. I don't think she's going to come back tonight, mate. But if she does, once again, just give us a buzz. We'll come down. And I was like, cool, easy, boys. No worries. So all's well in the world. Not a problem. This chick has gone. She's had a wild night. And like, listen, I feel for her, because trust me, guys, in my years, I've had a lot of crazy nights and I've done a lot of crazy shit. All right. Sometimes we get fucked up and we do some dumb things. So like, I've got no malice towards this woman. I just felt bad for her because she's probably going to wake up in the morning and feel embarrassed as fuck. You know what I mean? We're cool. I'm cool with her. No worries. Until I smell piss on my fucking couch, bro. And now it all makes sense. That's why she took her fucking pants off, bro. This bitch pissed herself on my couch. fucked. Right? Just fucked. Anyway, look, hey, listen. I still feel bad for her. So I'm like, I got no malice towards this woman, you know. I still do feel bad. She's had obviously a pretty rough night. And, you know, I'm not going to give it to her the next day. You know what? Here's where I went wrong in that story, actually. I didn't leave her shoes outside. I left her phone outside. So her shoes were still at my house, right? So the next day, I had her number from when she come down from that party that time. I text her. I go, hey, did you want your shoes? No response. A week later, still haven't heard from her. I go, yo, listen, if you're not going to come get your shoes, I'm throwing them in the bin. So if you want them, you want them. If not, they're going in the bin. Cool. She texts back. She goes, oh my God, I'm so fucking embarrassed. I can't believe I did that. I'm really sorry. I'm not like that. I just had a crazy night. I was like, yeah, listen, bitch, I don't give a fuck about your life story. Like, I get it. We all do dumb shit when we're fucked up. It's all good, bro. Like, do you want your fucking shoes or not? Yeah. Can you just leave them out the front of my apartment? I'm not at home. Whatever, man. So I go leave her shoes out the front of her apartment. Cool. We're back on good terms. Bob's your uncle. No worries. But me and my friends are just like, this bitch is crazy. Like, she is definitely nuts. Like, what the fuck? And so we all keep joking about it. How, like, she's actually fucking, you know, got some problems. But every time I talk to my friends about it, I say to my girlfriends, we're like, oh, damn, that bitch is crazy. And then I would go, she kind of bad, though. And they're like, Jake, no. And, like, I'm not interested at all, right? Like, she's definitely crazy. But it's just funny to say, right? So I'll be like, she's crazy. She kind of bad, though. I'll be like, oh, yeah. So anyway, she did this. She's absolutely nuts. But that bunda, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just taking the absolute mick. Anyway, so one night, me and my friend are, like, having drinks on my balcony. And we're going to go out that night. And we hear, again, over the balcony, we hear the upstairs neighbor. And she goes, excuse me, guys. Can one of you please call my ex-boyfriend? He's got my phone. And I look at my friend, one of my girlfriends, and I just wink at her. And I go, yeah, why don't you come down? We'll call. I'm drunk at this point, so I'm ready to just be a fucking menace, you know? I'm ready to do some dumb shit, you know? And so she goes, all right, I'll come down, right? She comes down, bro. She's in like her robe. Like she was just about ready for bed. And we're like, oh, so you need to like call your ex or whatever? She's like, yeah, he's got my phone. Like, I just can't get onto him. I don't know how to get my phone back. I was like, cool. We'll sort you out. Just take my phone, like text him or whatever. And so she takes my phone, texts the guy, right? And then I'm in a fucking devious mood, guys. I'm in a fucking devious mood. And I love a story. I love just doing dumb shit and having a fucking story to tell from it. So I say to this chick, because she seems pretty like mellow and reasonable, right? I say to this chick, I go, what are you doing tonight? We're going out. And she was like, you guys are going out? I was like, yeah. We're going out. I was like, why don't you come with us? And my friend is like, and I was like, yeah, come with us. Come out with us. And she was like, yeah, you guys going out? I was like, yeah, hell yeah. She was like, all right, well, you guys are going to have to come up to my apartment and help me pick an outfit then. I was like, hell yeah, let's go up to her apartment and help her pick an outfit. Like, let's go. So we go up to her apartment. We walk in. First thing I notice, giant fucking hole in the wall. And I mean human-sized hole in the wall. I could have fit through it, and that's saying something. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, yo, what happened to your wall? And she was like, I had that guy around, and she's talking about the guy, the big buff guy, that was drinking his drink out of a fucking protein shaker. I was like, oh, okay. And he broke your wall? She was like, yeah. And I was like, that guy fucking scares me. I can't lie. And she was like, yeah, he scares me too. And I was like, why do you keep inviting him around then? She's like, because I'm a dumb bitch. And I was like, glad you said it. Fair enough, bro. At least you're self-aware. Like, cool. So as I'm talking to her, right? As I'm talking to her, my friend, Danny, she's tapping me on the shoulder. Tapping me on the shoulder, tapping me on the shoulder. And I'm like, what? I look over, she points at the bench. What's on the bench? It's the piece of drywall, right? And it's in perfect condition. I'm like, what the fuck? I go over there. There's shit written on it. There is shit written on the piece of drywall. And I'm like, that's fucking weird. What's written on it? It says, hey, I've died. Hey, thank you so much for the, fun night. So-and-so has your phone. Really appreciate you having me round. I really like you. All this weird shit. And I was like, this fucking juiced up roid head has ripped a hole in her wall. It literally said at the bottom of it, couldn't find a pen and paper. He's ripped a piece of drywall out to write her a note, bro. I'm like, what the fuck is happening, bro? This is insane. And so she's like in her room. She's in her room, like trying to find an outfit or whatever. And me and my friend are looking at each other like, I might have been a little too devious tonight. I might have shenaniganed a little too hard. You know what I'm saying? So she comes out of her room. Swear to God, guys. This is a brand new apartment building. Brand new apartment building, right? She comes out of her room with a fucking Darren. She's lit up inside. An apartment Darren. Inside, bro. And a bag full of drugs and fucking needles. And she goes, do you guys plunge? I must have gone white as a fucking ghost, bro. And I was like, nah. We don't do that stuff, man. You go for it, though. You go for it. Like, that's all you. Bro, my friend looks at me and she's like, Jake, you need to get me the fuck out of this apartment right now. And I was like, yep, yeah, we gotta go. So I go, hey, listen, I've got to fucking, I've got to go back up to my apartment. I've got to go back up to my apartment and get changed anyway. I was like, why don't, we'll go up, I'll get changed, and then we'll just meet you. And she was like, okay, yeah, sounds good, right? So, I go back up to my apartment. I lock my fucking door. I say to Danny, let's go. I am not staying here. And we leave, bro. We leave. We get the fuck out of my apartment and we go to the club. Get there. We have a fun night. We come home. Bro, I'm so paranoid. I'm so fucking paranoid. Thank God she's not there. Bro. Next morning, I wake up to a text from the upstairs neighbor. And it says, oh my God, I'm so sorry about last night again. Like, I'm so embarrassed. I swear I'm not like that. I don't even do drugs. Like, I'm just having a rough time at the moment. Like, please don't dob me into the building inspector. And I was like, listen, I texted back. I was like, I don't care what you do in your own private life. Like, that's all you. And she was like, thank you so much. Like, you got to let me take you out to dinner after I get this wall fixed up. And I was like, nah, bro. I literally texted her back. I go, no, that's okay. Right? I'm good, bro. Like, no fucking chance. So anyway, you think that's where the story ends. You're wrong. You're so wrong. It's been a couple of weeks, right? And every so often at night, I'll just hear her going crazy, bro. Like on the balcony in her apartment, just going fucking nuts, dude. Right? And so it's weeks and weeks go by at this point, and you know, she's just off her fucking nut. There's a couple of times where there is like an ambulance that has come down to the apartment, and I've seen her get like stretchered out. Like she's properly drug fucked. Like, and I feel so bad for this girl. You know what I mean? Like she's obviously going through an addiction, and like it's sad. And she's just all sorts of fucked up. One time I was on the balcony. And I heard her come out on the balcony. I swear to God, she goes like this. I'm on the balcony just chilling, like on my phone on TikTok or some shit. And she comes out on the balcony and I hear her say, "No, I don't want to suck your dick. My throat hurts." And I was like, what the Same night, she gets stretchered out in an ambulance. What the hell is even going on? You know what I mean? Anyway, weeks go by, and I tell all my friends, obviously. I'm like, guys, you wouldn't believe it. My upstairs neighbor is a fucking heroin addict. Tried to offer me some heroin. Like, I can't believe it. That's crazy. Anyway, I don't really hear or see her again. Like, apart from, like, at night when she's, like, obviously on a lot of substances and is going crazy and screaming and whatnot. So it's all good. Like, it's not my problem anymore. No worries, yeah? And so one night, me and a couple friends, we go out, and guess who we run into? The upstairs neighbor. And she comes up and she was like, "Hey, oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long." I was like, yeah, that's kind of by design. Like, that's how I like it. Obviously didn't say that to her. I was like, "Oh, hey, so nice to see you." She gives me this big bear hug, right? And I'm looking across at my friends like, save me, bro. Save me. And she's like, "I'm sober tonight. I'm not on anything." I was like, "Oh, that's so great for you. Like, that's cool." Bro, all of a sudden, her friend just goes, "Did you just fucking do that at her? Who the fuck do you think you are?" Right? To my friend. And I was like, whoa. Like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? And so she tells her friend, like, something, whispers something in her friend's ear. And then my buddy, she, like, literally jumps over me, bro. I try and stop her, and she fucking socks my buddy straight in the eye, bro. One of the best Superman punches I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm like, whoa, fuck off. Like, what's going on? What are you doing? What's wrong with you? Oh my God. Save it. Oh my God, kill it. Okay, thank God. So, anyway, I'm like, fuck off, what are you doing? Get the fuck out of here. And so she zips off, right? And one of my girlfriends, like, follows her to find out what's going on. And I look at my buddy who's, like, fucking covering his eye, like, ow. And I was like, what the fuck happened? What did you say? And he's like, "I'm so sorry, man." And I was like, "Sorry? What did you do? Like, what have you done?" And he's like, "I'm a fucking idiot, bro." I was like, "What?" He goes, "While you were hugging her, I looked over at like one of our other friends and I went like this." And I was like, "You're a fucking idiot, bro. You are a fucking idiot. What does this mean?" She shoots up heroin. You know what I'm saying? I was like, "You fucking idiot, bro. Like, you're so dumb. What the fuck is wrong with you?" He's like, I'm so sorry, man. I was like, listen, I was like, you need to go like hide in the toilet for 10 minutes or something, bro. Because she's going to come back here. She's going to come back here looking for you. And she's going to want to fucking beat the shit out of you. So he goes to the toilet, right? Comes out 10 minutes later. Like, she comes out of the toilet and she was like, did you tell all your friends that I do drugs? And I was like, listen, I was like, no, nobody thinks that of you. I just told them what happened that night we came up to yours. Like, nobody thinks that. I'm really sorry. That was super inappropriate. Like, I don't think that of you. Like, I spoke to my friend. Like, it was mad disrespectful. Like, I'm really sorry that happened. She was like, good, because I don't even do drugs. And I was like, yeah, no, I get it. Like, for sure. She's like, I've never done heroin in my fucking life. And I was like, yeah, no, of course. Turns out, guys, she didn't. It turns out they weren't needles. They were just syringes, or like no needle syringes. And she was having GHB, which is like a party drug. It wasn't heroin. So I told all my friends that this bitch does heroin, when in fact she was addicted to a different drug. So my fault. Hey, my fault. Anyway, so my friend comes back from the toilet. I was like, bro, you idiot. You idiot. And he was like, yeah, I'm so dumb. I'm such an idiot. I was like, yeah, it's cool. Hey, listen, bro. I was like, did we lock the door? Because, like, I'm really worried now. Are you sure we locked the door? And he's like, I'm not sure. I was like, brother, I'm going to need you to go back to my apartment right now and just double check the door's locked. You at least owe me that. And he was like, yeah, of course, bro, I'll go. So he goes back to my apartment. He comes back to the club. He was like, bro. And I was like, what? He goes, we didn't lock the door. I was like, dude, was she there? He's like, I went inside, bro. And you know how there's the blanket on the couch? I was like, yeah. He's like, I beat the fuck out of that blanket. I was like, okay, was she under it? He's like, nah, she wasn't there, bro. And I was like, okay, good. Like, I'm glad, right? So anyway, we have a fun night. It's all good. We don't see her again. Thank God for that. Like, all good, all good. And then, that's it. I don't hear from her again for a very long time. The next time I hear from her is probably a month later. About a month later, I went to the movies, and on the way home from the movies, I don't live too far from the movies at this point, and it was a nice night. I know you guys aren't going to believe this, okay? But remember, this was a good 4 years ago. I ran home from the movies, all right? I just fucking had a nice little jog. It was a nice night, felt like it. Ran home from the movies. I know that's the most unbelievable part of this story, but you got to trust me, right? Anyway, as I'm coming up to the apartment complex, she's on the balcony and she's having like a little party, right? She's having like a little party. And so at this point, I still think she's done heroin, right? I still think she's a heroin addict. I don't find out until a lot later. My friend's a police officer, and he told me that it was GHB, not heroin. But I don't find out for a little while. But at this point, I still think she's a heroin addict. And so I get to my apartment. She's out on the balcony with all her friends, right? And over the balcony, she goes, I fucking hate you. And I was like, oh, do ya? And she was like, you told everyone I inject drugs. And I was like, don't you? You know? Don't you? What the fuck? Anyway, I get up to my apartment, lock the door, immediately lock the door. And then I go out on the balcony to just try and hear what's going on. And she's over the balcony going, babe, please, can I just talk to you, babe? Can we just talk? And I was like, is this bitch talking to me? Is she talking to me? Like, what the fuck is going on? I'm good on that. I just went inside, right? Now, I don't hear from this girl probably 3 months at this point. For probably 3 months. Yeah? One day, I wake up, there's a lot of commotion a lot of commotion upstairs, right? I hear it going crazy. It wakes me out of my slumber. It's daytime at this point because I was on the night shift. And so it's probably like 1 p.m. and it woke me up, right? And so I go out on the balcony, like, what the fuck's going on? There's like a crowd of people. Dude, my ability to lock in needs to be studied. Like, on God, it needs to be studied. So anyway, I go out on the balcony, bro, and there's a crowd out on the street. Everyone's just like looking up, like, and I'm like, what? I wonder what's going on up there. And she's like screaming and throwing shit off the balcony and like all sorts, right? Damn. I hear a knock on the door. Oh no. Oh no. I go, who is it? Jake, it's Julie. Ah, Julie. It's just the cleaning lady for the apartment complex. I open the door. Jules, what the fuck's going on upstairs? She's like, mate, she is out on the balcony, throwing shit off the balcony, screaming at everyone on the street, and she's butt naked. And so I ran downstairs. I ran downstairs. No, I'm joking. I was like, what the fuck? And she's like, yeah, it's crazy. I've already called the police. They're coming down. I was like, damn, like, surely she's getting kicked out now. Like, that's got to be the end of it. Anyway, so that's that. I see her one more time after this in the apartment complex. I see her one more time. Now, remember, I've told all of my friends that this chick does heroin. All right? I've called her fucking crazy. My friend, she's punched my friend at the club. She's tried to jump off my balcony. All sorts of shit. I get in the elevator one night. She's in there. She looks at me, and I can just tell, bro, in her eyes, in her fucking soul, she has no idea who I am. She looks at me, goes, hey. She has no idea who I am. And I was like, we're good. We're good. Thank God for that. And that was it. She ended up getting kicked out of the apartment complex. And I only ever saw her again one time. This was 2 years later. I was out at a club and she comes up to me and she goes, oh my God, Jake, hey. And I was like, hello, do I know you? And she was like, it's me, your old upstairs neighbor. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I did not recognize you. Guys, she looks healthy. She looks like she's off the drugs. She looks great. And I was like, wow, nice to see you. She's like, I've been fully clean for a whole year now. I've got a kid. I've got my life together. And I was like, that is so nice to hear. I'm so fucking glad. I'm so glad. 5 minutes later, I left the club and she's out the front fighting a man. Full punch on. And that's it. I never saw her again. That's the end of the crazy upstairs neighbor crackhead.